G Show, Peter G Show. Divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad. Peter G Show.
It's that time again. Sunday evening. Sunday. Live right here. Right here. Sunday Night Live. Coming to you. From me to you. Yeah. Right here live. Did I mention that we're live streaming on YouTube as well? If I didn't, I'm mentioning it now. Things are changing. Forever changing. How the hell is everybody tonight? Sunday night. It's snowing on the East Coast, I hear. Awesome show last week. If you caught the show, had East Coast guests. Again, I've been doing a lot of East Coast lately. Dr. Bindu Babu. She was talking about narcissism and narcissistic behavior and all that fun stuff. Not so fun stuff. Good stuff. Educational. I mean, nobody wants to get caught up in that, but unfortunately, I think so many do. It happens a lot. Tonight, however, tonight is the last Sunday of the month. And what happens on the last Sunday of the month, or what has been happening on the last Sunday of the month for the past 5-6 months? That's right, you guessed it. An episode of East Meets West. Tonight I'm going to have East Coast, Baltimore's Mr. Bob Paff on this show right here, co-hosting with me. Sharing the stage, so to speak. I think it's really good. He's got an East Coast perspective on what's going on. I'm out here on the West Coast. There's things going on. There's lots going on. Never a dull moment, I don't think. I don't think we run out of anything to talk about because there's not enough time. We just kind of go for it until it's time to stop, and normally we go over as it is. But that's what's going to happen tonight. Right here. East Coast, Baltimore's own Bob Paff, joining me on East Meets West, which I hope we can do for a while. You know, if he gets too busy and can't do it, he stays up late for me. God bless him. He stays up. It's 11:30 on the East Coast right now, 11:35. And, but you know, the sacrifices you make for the things you love. Right here, Life of Peter G. Also streaming live to all the Facebook pages, working on the LinkedIn right now. I have to have permission. It's crazy. But it's happening. Watch parties too, people. You might want to start those watch parties. I think it can be done. I'm looking. On Facebook anyway. You know, Facebook's changing a lot. Here's why I'm asking you to start subscribing on YouTube. Because Facebook is changing a lot. And even right now, I can't even do a watch party. We used to do these watch parties on Facebook where you can share it and go, hey, you know, this is Jane, and I'm watching the Peter G Show, and you should be watching it too. And it just shows what your interests are and what you're watching. But it's getting harder and harder to deal with Facebook. And so I did have a YouTube channel, but I didn't really promote it. I didn't push it. I was really all about Facebook because I really love all the Facebook people. Not so hip on Facebook, but love the Facebook people. You tell me what you're eating. You tell me when a loved one passes. You tell me when somebody's going into surgery, you need prayers. You tell me, you know, somebody graduated, the birth of a child, all of that. And I like that because this is what it's all about. Life. Hence the word Life with Peter G, the Peter G Show, live. I like live. I know it's late in some parts of the country, but, you know, it is what it is. And you can always find the show on demand. You can always dial it up. Go to the Peter G Show page, find the show. Go to YouTube, find the show, along with the other 300. All kinds of stuff. But that's what it's there for. But if you like what I do, if you care about what we talk about, do me a favor. Even though you're on Facebook, go over to the YouTube channel, Peter G Show, and just subscribe there because who knows what's going on with Facebook. God forbid they should disappear one day. I want you to have a backup plan until we figure out what else to do. You know what I mean? Just saying. Next week, real quick, going to get on the political train. Haven't done that in a while, only because he's called me. The infamous V from the Red Pill Hardcore Show. I'm sure he's stewing. Haven't spoken to him since the fall. And he's the deep state, knows things that most people don't. That's his job. Talks about things that most people have no clue about, but that truly do exist, whether you want to believe it or not. And that's for you to decide. But I'm going to hear him out. He wants to come on the show. His people called me and says, V wants to come on your show. He's spewing right now. It's been an interesting couple of months, let's just face it. And I'm going to bring him on the show and hear what he's got to say. Whether you like it or not, your opinion. If you got another opinion, you want to come on and say something, you're more than welcome to. I always invite people if they have something worthy of saying. I'm pretty easy. But the one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to stifle and not let things be heard because you don't know what you don't know. That much I've learned. And then it's up to you to decide whether it's bullshit or not. Simple. Still waiting for... I'm going to wait. Bobpaff will be popping on any minute. And then I'll bring him on. But that's where that's at. Trying to see here, things are changing on Facebook. The platform's changing. It's driving me nuts. Again, you as just a watcher, who just posts things and all that, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. I'm looking at it right now. It's like, holy crap, I can't do what I want to do. And I don't know why that is. But either way, we're grateful. I'm not even seeing comments. You can usually comment. There's a bunch of them over here. Where is Bob? Bob should be coming on any minute. I'm waiting for him to come into the green room. We're looking for Bob in all the wrong places. Come on, Bob. Let me text him real quick. Where is Bob? I caught him. He popped on Facebook a little while ago and said the show was at midnight. We had just gotten off the phone a little bit prior. The show started at 11:30, so hope he didn't get all his shows confused. Couldn't be here. Real quick. Could not be here if it wasn't for my beloved. Now the show. Oh, again, I'm having issues with the can. Bolt Energy. What it says right up there, Bolt Energy. Electrify your senses. Why Bolt Energy? I'm going to tell you why. I like these guys. I'm going to tell you why. Bolt Energy has no preservatives. Go find that in an energy drink. It'll save you some trouble. You can't. Because it doesn't exist. Most energy drinks, all energy drinks except for Bolt Energy, has preservatives. This is a cleaner energy drink. They are workout fanatics. They work out a lot, and they wanted to create something cleaner, better for you, because a lot of people say, oh, health, energy drinks are, energy drinks are bad for you. What is good for you? I'm not a coffee drinker. This is an all-natural energy drink that gives you just enough of what you need to get, that extra little push. And I like it. Number one, I like the way it tastes. It doesn't taste like crap. It's lightly carbonated. You don't have to drink a giant can, not a giant, 80 ounces. You don't get all jacked up, like over-caffeinated. And that's important. It's really important. And then when it flows through your system and you start coming down or give that little extra added stuff, they have the nutrients in there. It's enriched with vitamins and antioxidants, and they give you everything you need. But when we start coming down, you're not crashing. And don't think you're going to get a buzz when you drink it and go, I don't feel nothing. It just gives you some natural, they have the right things in there that gets into your body, that makes your body start to move forward. And that's important. Go out and ask for Bolt Energy. If you can't find Bolt Energy, go to www.drinkboltenergy. Ask them, say, hey, where can I find Bolt Energy? And they'll tell you. They're new, they're growing, they're not all over the place. They're working on it. Rome was not built in a day. That's a fact. Go to your local stores. Ask the store clerk. You have Bolt Energy. And then, what is Bolt? If they don't know, tell them. See, I saw it on the Peter G Show. All right, I'm going to see what's going on with Bob. Hope he's okay. Uh-oh. Can't do that, can I? Did I just wipe us out? Looking for Bob. Here, Bob. Let's just send that over. Okay, we're back. Sorry. Don't know where he is. Ah, here he is. I see him saying okay. Maybe he was late driving in. I tried to make it an easy commute for him. Let me crack open my Bolt Energy I always like taking. Ah, God bless him. He's there, going to be there and waiting. There he is. Hang on 1 second. Got to take a sip. Oh, I like the taste, especially cold. It just gives you that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'm going to bring on Mr. from Parts Unknown. Actually, he is parts very known. Baltimore's own. Let's see. Let me get you in there. Baltimore's own Mr. Bob Paff.
Go.
How are you?
Hey, Guy. I'm good. Look, see the roaring fireplace behind me there?
I do see the roaring fireplace behind you. I was afraid that maybe you were still busy building the fire, and I was going. I want to get every minute. They're already asking, "Where's Bob?"
I did
Where's
that
Bob?
in advance, Guy. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. There we go.
Yes. Don't
Right?
go too close to it. That'd be a show.
No. That would be a show.
Bob is on fire.
And
anyway.
I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop to put any logs on the fire. So when it goes out, it goes out.
I'm sure.
How are you?
Believe me, it's roaring right now. I am good. Thank you once again for staying up late for another once a month, last Sunday of the month episode of East Meets West. Come on,
It rolls around very quickly, my friend. I got to tell you, because January is a long month, but it was like
it was.
It's almost midnight here on the East Coast. So yeah, it's late.
Yes, it is. Snowing over there?
We're getting freezing rain right now, my friend. But we're gonna get hit with some more snow tomorrow. Yeah.
You're the official snow shoveler?
Yeah, I am. Despite the fact that I have 6 kids, I shoveled 4 times today because I wanted to keep up with it. So I have a very long walkway from the front of my house to the street, and then a very long sidewalk. So,
well, there's your cardio.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. Because I wasn't so good today on. I don't want to say diet. I want to say my lifestyle changes. But what did I eat? And then after I had that, I was like, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, actually, I had this little chicken pot pie thing, and they were very small, and I ate both of them, and then it was small, and then I said, oh, I was doing all that cardio. I needed the exercise or the fuel, right?
Well, it works. Believe me, I'm not doing too much around here. It did get started raining and got cold over here, but again, Southern California, no snow.
Yeah.
No snow.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to the meat of the thing. I want to start. I want to ask you this first and then we'll get into it because then I want to get into life. But
Okay.
you disappeared off the radio station for a few months. You took a hiatus, and Friday night your media juices kicked in, and you said, "Damn it, I'm getting ready, and I'm going to do a Bob Paff show from my living room." Correct?
Yes, I did. And
everybody.
Well, Juices is right, Peter. I've been off of the air since September the 25th. It's weird. I had let me talk about the 25th for just a second, then we'll finish the story. I was having lunch with a friend in D.C. the other day, and the bill came, and it was $25.25. And my last show was the 25th of September.
Okay.
This $25.25. So 25, 25th, I think, of January, I started doing something else again. And so, yes, my daughter was having some friends over, and I ran out to the store because I'm a good dad and bought some snacks. And I walk in the front door with all these snacks, right? And there are 4 girls plus my daughter, and they said, "Oh, hey, Dad, we're going out for ice cream." And I said, "What? I just bought all these snacks." Said all these snacks, and they said,
Yeah.
"We'll be right back. We'll be right back." So I put the snacks away, and I said, "You know what? I'm going to connect with my audience. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to turn on my phone, and I'm going to do a Facebook Live video." And I did, and it felt really good. And hiatus was right. You're right. I just needed the break. You know, Peter, last year was so awful, 2020, certainly with COVID, but even more than that, the election. I think the election, the vitriol, the hatred, I don't even watch the news anymore. And I need to stay informed. I'm a talk show host, as you are. I read the Wall Street Journal, which I find to be really, quite honestly, and I was talking to somebody today about that, the most unbiased thing out there, because everything else is just so slanted. I talked about that tonight to my audience. Anyway, to answer your question, long-winded answer your question, yes, I'm back, and I've decided. You see this venue behind? You see this fireplace?
I do.
It's real stuff.
They're
So
real
I
stuff.
decided what's better than this. This is not a fake scene behind this, not a green screen. We are in my living room, friends, folks. And I decided, let's just do the Bob Paff Live from my living room. Now, what we're going to do in June, I don't know. We can't do we could do the fireplace in June. Maybe we'll take it up by the pool or something. I don't know. But we'll figure that out. But I thought, what a great venue to be able to do it. What a blessing to be able to do it. So we're going to do the Bob Paff Show live from my living room.
Listen, one thing for sure is you can't beat the commute.
Absolutely true. And it's a good thing you can't see me from the waist down. It's a clean show here. I know it's late, but I'm in my pajamas. But
Remember,
you could be too. You could be too.
I know. Once I take all this off, I'm in my, I told you a long time ago, I thought it would be so cool if I had you and you had that like a nightcap on, because it's late over there. It's like, justifiable.
Yeah.
I got no complaints with that because it's not really the clothing that's making the entertainment here. It's
that's right.
Sometimes say the suit
but
I don't.
I got to tell you though, man. When I posted this stuff, everybody's like, "Oh my god, that fireplace and the mantle and the architectural detail, the molding," and it was like people were into it. They were excited. You've got LA or something behind you there, and I've got a fireplace.
I do. Well, look, listen. I have no quorum. I mean, the idea is awesome, but if I had to be in a giant, studio and they're, building a set, I have no quorums with that either. What I mean? It's like, then it only
be a
means
nice problem to have. Is that what you're saying to me? It'd be a nice problem to have.
You are exactly right. Two minds think alike.
There you go. There you go.
Car comes and picks you up, gets you there.
Sorry, it's too late.
I'm already
for you, I'm doing this. No, it's obviously.
Listen, it's for us.
I
want it's equal billing tonight.
You know what I forgot to do? I was going to get some coffee. I was going to have some coffee with you. Coffee and a fireplace is what I was going to do. I forgot the coffee.
I only have Bolt Energy. I'm not much of a coffee guy.
That stuff is gross.
Listen, they sponsor me and they know what I do and they still sponsor me. What am I supposed to do?
Well, nice, very good.
Yeah,
very good.
It's like, they go, yeah, we know what you do, but you know what? Just keep doing it, and we'll be fine.
And we still like you. Go ahead.
Yeah. But let me tell you, Friday night when you were on, and then we'll move on to life, and then we'll plug whatever you want to plug at the end. But Friday night you were so. I've never seen Bob Paff so like a giddy schoolgirl. You were so happy to be. I swear to God, because now we don't spend a lot of time. We're on different coasts, but you were bouncing off the walls. Watch your show. You were bouncing off the walls. Happy.
Yeah. People said it was I forget, and they were all good terms. Combination of, I don't know what it was. The energy. I don't know, Peter. I don't know what it was, and it moved me. I'm a spiritual guy. It moved me as soon as I put the groceries away to said, like, I'm going to just do that. And this is very. What's the word I'm looking for? Very cryptic. I'm sitting here at a table and a tripod and a fireplace, and that's it. And this is what we're doing. So it's very raw, and that's what you saw the other night. You saw the rawness.
That's the way it starts.
Yeah. It's been September, October, November, December, January. I can't do the math that quickly. How long is that? 4 months? 4 months? September, October, November, December, January. 5 months?
Yeah.
I've been off the air for a long time, and I kind of.
You're right. 4 months. I apologize.
Yeah, 4 months, and I kind of. I needed a break. I needed a break. You know what the last 2 years have been like for me. It was incredible that January the 21st was the second anniversary of my son's death.
Yes.
And so that hit me. But there were a lot of things at the station. I just kind of hit the wall. I'm going to be candid with you. We're on the air here.
Always.
I wasn't feeling the love. I wasn't feeling the love that I wanted to feel. For me, Peter, it's all about feeling the love and all about feeling the value. Sure. You work hard doing what you do, as do I. And we've lived, sometimes I feel like I've lived 10 lifetimes. And we share that with our audience. We're transparent. I'm bringing people into my living room now, but I brought them into my life for 2 years at the radio station. I'm not even going to give you the call letters. And it really kind of took its toll when I wasn't really feeling the love. And I don't know, that spark, you saw it. You saw it. What was it? Saturday? Was it last night? Friday night.
Friday night.
It was Friday night. It was Friday night.
Had I didn't know better, I swear you were heavily stimulated. I mean,
you thought I was drinking that Bolt stuff that you drink.
No, I thought you did a big, something like that. You know, back
or
in the old days.
Something illegal, maybe.
Yeah.
No. Really?
Listen, at the end of the day, I loved what I saw. I mean, inside. Good. Good. It was, the fireplace is great, but really at the end of the day, we should be able to move you into a blank wall, and it's all about what you can do. The fireplace is just.
That's true. You're right. You're right.
But it was awesome. I go, okay, good. You're starting a new, and where it goes after that, who knows? But the point is, it's time. It was time for you to start stepping into something else, and the visual's great. The visual's great.
Yeah.
It's all people like to see, feel, touch. All that.
They do.
But it's so here we are, and again, same thing. I had this wacky idea because you come from a different cut from the east side, the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast, but yet two different people, but we have a lot of common narratives that we talk about and appreciate and value. And I said, what better than after a month of going through life than to start letting it all out?
Yeah, agree.
So I'd like to let a few things out and see what your opinion is. If you
okay. Go ahead.
Now,
sure.
don't forget, I do watch you through the month because I scan Facebook very much. I watch everybody. Now, I noticed I just you were testing your thing a little. I just accidentally bumped into your last recording about an hour ago on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
You said you didn't want to talk about COVID, but yet a few days ago, I heard you say something about COVID. And now maybe it's a different.
What I was saying, I didn't want to have guests on my show.
Oh, because
talking about. No. Talking about the protocol and 3 masks now and a bag over our heads. And I didn't want to bring guests. So I don't want to have Dr. Fauci in my living room is what I was saying. So what I was saying is I'm going to have people on and they're going to be in my living room and they could be from all walks of life and we'll talk about the same topics. Okay. But I didn't want to talk about
because there's a couple of things that I want to talk about and because I think you'll understand.
Yeah.
Because now everybody's, there's people that can't wait to get vaccinated. And there's some people that are saying you're crazy as hell. I'm one of the you're crazy as hell people. I would not go I don't want to get vaccinated. I don't believe that vaccination is even close to being anything it should be. My opinion.
Okay.
I watch enough. I educated. I mean, I'm watching things. I throw it out there. People have choices. I respect everybody's choice. But the thing is, I managed to get my hands on a little clip that Pepsi, my Ed McMahon, who hasn't been on in a while, sent me. And you heard of Tony Robbins, correct?
Of course. Sure.
Okay. Do you think that he's fairly reasonable or respectful, or I mean, what do you think of him as a person?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the private side. I think what I've read, what I've seen, but everybody to each his own. He's not my cup of tea.
You think he's an idiot, though? I hate to say it. Do you think he's got common sense, or I know he's a motivator, and and that goes either way. It's what you want to believe, but do you think he's got some common sense in him? I mean, he could tell right from wrong or good from bad or anything like that.
I would think so. I can't really speak with any authority.
Okay.
I don't know the man.
Okay.
I don't know the man. What I've read in the tabloids or whatever I've seen, and everybody else has seen, whatever. But I don't know him, and so I don't want to. All right.
Cool. Just
he works for some people. He's not my cup of tea. I tend to read more existentialists and more people that are more into meditation and prayer and spirituality. And I don't. If he is that, then I've missed the mark. But I don't see that, Peter.
He's definitely made something of himself somehow.
Oh, he's a billionaire, I think. Yeah. Right?
Wow.
Good for him.
So either way,
good,
I mean, again, good or bad, I just wanted it because I'm going to play a little clip, and this is one of the beauties of this new transformation that we can fly things in now, and it's a 1 minute clip, and it's about the coronavirus in general, which is try to make sense of all the deaths and all these things. So just check this out and then we'll talk about it. All right, here we go.
Okay.
If you want to educate yourself, you don't have to be a person that's terribly, you don't have to be thinking in different ways. Just go read John Hopkins' report. They took it down after 1 day, but 2 weeks ago they came out here in America. They took it down, but if you go on the Wayback Machine, you can go back on your computer and go back in time on the web. So people have already published it again and again. And what it shows is the same number of people have died this year, 2020, has died in 2019, 2018, 2017, 2016, and 2015. 2.8 million people. It's within 10 to 15,000 people every year. The same number of old people died in 2020. The only difference is when they looked by disease. Heart disease, for the first time in 30 years, has come down. Cancer has come down. But COVID has gone up in the exact proportions. Now that's interesting, isn't it? Same number of people died. By the way, in case you haven't noticed, the flu has disappeared. It's flatlined. What are the symptoms of the flu? And by the way, flu kills people, and especially kills older people. So we're living in a world where a lot of people might be overreacting because they're trying to protect us because they thought at a 3% mortality rate or 4%, that would be a pandemic. But today, depending on whose research you read, it's 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, which is the same as the flu. And if you're under 50, it's way below that. So we live in a world that if we let people control our focus, we're just going to live in fear and do nothing. And we're going to be people that manage our circumstances.
There you have it.
I agree with him.
I do too. I mean, love him or hate him. I think that there's
I don't either way. Really, he helps a lot of people.
Right. God bless him.
A lot of people. Yeah. God bless him is right. But I agree with him there.
Yeah.
I agree with him.
And that's what I'm thinking. And again, my daughter, she's turning me on to, she's only 15 and but I mean, she's watching these, doctors' videos that are getting taken off of YouTube that are talking about the activities of not taking that vaccine, and what will happen, I just think there's something behind all that. And that's just me. Call me crazy. Next week, I'm going to have somebody from the deep state who delves into that. I'm going to let him say his piece, and people can take it for what they wanted or not. He's wanting to come on. I'm going to bring him on. I don't see anybody from the opposition but batting down my doors to talk about the opposite end of it. So anyway, just
that's our job to do what you're doing. I talked about it earlier. You said you spotted my video earlier. That again, it was very impromptu. Talking about your show is going to be on tonight. I thought, what the hell? Let me talk to everybody. Our job, Peter. It's funny. People are now comparing. Not comparing me is not the right word. People are talking about how much they miss Phil Donahue. And Donahue started a lot of this TV talk show stuff. And that's a compliment to say, we need more of that common sense approach. I think I remember Donahue. I'm old enough. Your job and my job is not to tell people how to think. It's really just to tell them to think and to think for themselves. So as I listen to Tony Robbins there, he clearly has one, thought process, one direction that use the word propaganda, things that were being fed. I understand that. I agree with him, but I'm not going to judge anybody for thinking whatever they're thinking. our job again as talk show hosts is really to present the sides, and you're doing the right thing. Have people on. If somebody wants to come in and present the other side, then let them do that. The problem now with the media, whether it's CNN or Fox or BBC or whoever you're watching, it's hard to find that impartiality. It's hard to find an unbiased thought process.
They're unplugging everybody. They're unplugging anybody they disagree with.
Correct.
What do you do?
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see how history treats like this election. You know, Biden didn't campaign. He ran the election out of his basement. I've been watching some of his videos. I don't know what you've seen, and I know we're going to talk about a lot of things tonight. And I'm just observing. He really looks feeble. I mean, when you see him walk, and I know the talking is an issue for him. You know, stringing a coherent thought and sentences together and all that kind of stuff like that. The man is almost 80 years old, and I really think, and you know what really got my knickers in a twist, or whatever you want to call it. At 50 or 60 years old in corporate America, you're washed up. But at 80 years old, you can be the leader of the free world. I don't get it.
If you're capable, I'm all in. If you're capable, I'm all in. But you know, and I know that there's something awry here, and I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's my.
Yeah, you know, I think it's the exceptional person. There's been a lot of talk around, and probably some substantiation, that Ronald Reagan, in his second term and on his way out, was really suffering from Alzheimer's, because there was a rapid decline, right? Remember this? After Reagan left office, there was a rapid decline. Then he kind of disappeared because Nancy protected him. She really did. And so I think it's the rare individual that at 80 years old has the stamina for that job. So why are you washed up in corporate America at 50, 55, and 60, or 65, or 70 now? But you can run the country and be the leader of the free world at 80. Or like Nancy Pelosi or Dianne Feinstein, who's, I think, 86 or 87. I don't get it. She's out there with you. Feinstein's a California girl, former mayor of San Francisco, I believe.
Yeah, lucky me.
Crazy shit, man. Crazy shit.
Lucky me. I'm telling you. But I have seen some pretty spry 80-year-olds. I mean, I really have. I personally, because again, I come from parents for me, fortunately, lived in their 90s, and I've seen a lot of people by 85, things start going down. But if you're a spry 80, I mean, life is different than what it used to be, years ago. I mean, there's a longer life expectancy.
Absolutely agree.
So who knows?
I agree.
Let him do it if he can.
I agree with you. There are exceptions to the rule, but when you're talking about the president of the United States,
I know that's what I'm saying.
You're not talking about the guy at Walmart who's the greeter who's 85.
That might be 80, my next job.
Right? Come on.
Yeah.
So it's a whole different thing, Peter. Cognitively, physically, all of that stuff. Listen, as my dear ex-father-in-law, who I adore, Ernie Santiago, if you're out there listening, I know he's not. He's in bed. He's in Florida. But he said to me, I remember him saying to me one day, he said, Bob, as you get older, it doesn't get better. There may be a slower decline if the genes are good, like you were saying with your family. But Peter, it's not getting better. You're not getting healthier. You're not getting younger. You're not getting more vibrant. You're not getting more attractive. You're not getting any of that stuff. So that's just a fact. When you get older, things get worse. The wheels start to come off the wagon. They do. So for an 80-year-old, but anyway, my point was, when you watch the videos of him, I saw him getting out of a car. He looks old, and he's thin, and he wants to be hip, and he wears his aviators, and he just wants to be so cool. I saw something earlier. The first time Biden ran it was 1988. I was 28 years old. This guy, I think, was desperate to be the president. And I don't think he even really cares if it's in a puppet form or whatever. I don't think so. I think he so desperately wanted to be the president that he's willing to do anything and to compromise anything to get there. I really do believe that. I really do. I feel, I can connect to him. I can. He's lost 2 children, I think, his daughter in a car accident and his wife, and his son, Bo, of cancer. And my heart breaks for him because I've lost a child. So that I share with him. I do. And I know that's a real, right?
Is that enough to sympathize for him to be president, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And in fairness to me, I've never been a fan. I mean, I think the whole thing, the plagiarism, and he bragged that he graduated at the top of his law school class. And the fact is that he graduated near the bottom of his law school class. And the media handed this to him, Peter. They did not put a glove on this guy. They did not. They did not. They went after the other guy with a vengeance, and they gave him this guy a free pass. They did.
But
so anyway.
You got the people that you just I was going to go there eventually anyway, so we're here. So I got a couple of things I wanted to throw at you and see what you think.
Sure, please.
Because, okay, so Biden got in and in his first week signed an executive order. I'll tell you how many executive orders he signed, because he signed 37 executive orders in the first 10 days. 37.
Yeah.
Obama signed 9. In it when he first got into office. Trump signed 5. Now, not to say that they won't do any.
Wow.
And again, the problem I have here is that he signed all these crazy executive orders, and I'll get to one of them. But he also said in October of 2020, when he was running for president, he also said only a dictator legislates through executive orders. Only a dictator. And then where are we right now? 37 executive orders in the first week. Now, I'm only I don't want to go down on 37 because I'm not here to bash or anything like that. But this is something that just got me really badly. It's like, here's an executive order. He signed a ban on the term China virus. You can't say that anymore. There's a ban on that. You do not call it China virus.
Oh my God! Really? Wow!
I'm sorry.
Wow!
Yeah. Who's he?
Wow.
Because
what happens to you if you do? I mean, it's like,
I don't know.
Oh,
but
God.
My point being is, like, he's, why not? Where did it come from? When the typhoid flu, this and that, whatever.
And nobody's denied. Nobody's saying it didn't come from China, right? It's a fact that it came from China, and it came from that lab.
I wanted to print something out this evening because, again, Sundays is my long prep day. I wanted to read to you the coincidences of how all that is deep. I may save it for next week, but it's just who owns the companies and who's profiting from all this and how it's all going.
Yeah.
Again, some people might just not believe a word of it, but all I can say is it's out there. At least acknowledge it, whether you agree or disagree afterwards is for you to decide. I'm just here to bring it out there because only years ago when Obama was in office, he was Pepsi, my Ed McMahon, again, was all about the new world order and all this stuff. And I'm going, Pepsi, you smoke too much pot. I go, you got to freaking just chill, just more. Yeah. It's like too much. Yeah. I go, I don't believe that stuff. Only within a year have I really all of a sudden a light went off. And I started really looking into this. I was just floating through it. I go, nobody in their right mind, an American citizen, would want to, desegregate their country and throw it into the toilet. Why would you want to do that? But it's happening. Yeah, it's happening. And it's sad.
Yeah,
I don't understand. I don't know why, but it's happening, and it's right under our noses. And some people think that we're going to go down a better road just because he's a nice guy. He's going to unify us. Right now, all I'm hearing, even the regular media that we don't like, they're raising hell right now, kind of. He's kind of.
Well, Trump's out, so they can't. Who are you going to bash?
I know,
they
but
need a target, and I think. Listen, you touched on something. I think Biden comes off as the guy next door, the boy from Scranton. By the way, left Scranton when he was 4 years old, but he comes off as the unsung hero, whatever the hell, of Scranton, Pennsylvania. But I think it's that sort of nice guy, the guy next door. Listen, when he said, if you don't vote for me, you're not black enough. Again, no glove on him, got away with that. One or two, black commentators or whatever called him out on that, but that went away quickly too, didn't it? If they don't pick up something and run with it, Peter, then it dies. And that's what happened in that particular case. And so, yeah, I think, Uncle Joe, I won't even say Sleepy Joe, Uncle Joe next door, Mr. Joe. Hey, everybody likes a Joe. There's Joe. I think that you're right. I think average Joe, Joe Blow. Yeah. I think, he's kind of gotten away with, and listen, let's try to be equal here. Trump is bombastic. He is, and that's a style, and I get it. You go back to The Apprentice or whatever, you're fired and all that stuff. And I never watched that show.
Yeah.
But when you take somebody with that personality and you compare him to an Uncle Joe, a Joe Blow, an average Joe, there's quite a contrast there. And so the media picked up on all that. So very interesting, night and day when it comes to the personality type. Joe comes off as the guy next door.
You can't be nice, super nice. I mean, you could be a decent human being, but you can't be super nice and be a president. You just can't. I mean, rough around the edges, sure. Trump was really rough around the edges because
Jimmy Carter was probably the nicest president we've had, certainly in a long time. I understand because he was an engineer. He went to the Naval Academy here in Maryland and Annapolis.
That was an accident.
What do you mean it was an accident? The Carter was elected?
Yeah. Just a fluke. I don't know. It's like I was very young back then when that came in. I just somebody made a mistake. I
actually think, and certainly Carter has made. I mean, he's I think now officially the longest living U.S. president. At 95 or 6, whatever he is. Right. I think he crossed that, and I think he's done a better job outside of Washington, D.C. than he did in. He's been better in his years after. Carter was never, when you read about him and you listen, he never fit in. Washington never embraced him. He came in after Richard Nixon. The country was tired of corruption and scandal and wanted a peanut farmer, an honest Christian man. And I think Jimmy Carter is all those things. I really do. And it was just the country needed. Interesting, Peter. You could really kind of compare that to Reagan and now Biden because we just said Uncle Joe, Frosty Joe, Uncle whatever. Compared to Trump, there's quite a difference there. To compare and contrast him to Richard Nixon and Jimmy Carter, it's interesting how these things go in cycles. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of what Jimmy Carter's done.
Again, I was really young
after his presidency.
So I don't really remember. I thought, that's where I just screwed up because I thought he just stepped in by default. That was Ford, wasn't it? Who stepped in after?
Ford stepped in by default.
Yeah. Okay. I apologize. So that was my mistake. I thought Carter stepped in.
Ford pardoned Nixon, which was really his undoing. Ford did not win. Carter beat Ford. Ford stepped in after Nixon resigned. Well, because Agnew resigned first. And Agnew, by the way, a little bit of history here, a little bit of trivia. Spiro Agnew was the governor of Maryland. And he was the Baltimore County executive. Then he became governor of Maryland. And then Nixon tapped him to be the vice president. Agnew resigned first. Then Nixon resigned. Ford took over. Ford became vice president when Agnew resigned. And then Ford became president when Nixon resigned. And I think Ford was a decent guy. There was another guy comparable maybe in some ways to the senior Bush, dedicated service. I think maybe a military man too, but just a good human being. I've read his book. I think his book is his life story is Read It When I'm Gone or something like that. It's a good book. And Gerald Ford seemed really by all accounts to be a very honorable person. And that's what the country needed. But he pardoned Richard Nixon. No, he's gone. But he pardoned Richard Nixon.
Okay.
He's dead.
I don't know. I thought it was again. That's why I screwed up, and I said he came in by default. My bad, because it was
he beat Ford.
I was busy back then. Yeah, I was busy being a kid. Yeah. Hey, real quick, a little California because you're on the East Coast, and we're having a lot of California problems with our Governor Newsom. But did you know?
Really? How does he compare to Jerry Brown? Jerry Brown was like the Flake or Mr. like whatever in the Linda Ronstadt thing, and this Newsom guy is, he fancies himself a movie star. I mean, I suspect Newsom. He's young enough. He's going to run for president at some point. I know he's Nancy Pelosi's nephew. A lot of people don't know that, but I imagine he.
They want to recall him. Okay, it's gonna get nasty one day. Right now,
okay, I've heard about that. Is that still going on out there? Recalling him?
That was going on back in March of last year, before even this shit hit the fan. I'm going to tell you real quick. Do you know that the California unemployment fraud has reached $11 billion. $11 billion. $11 billion in unemployment, fraud, unemployment, and whatever it takes for $11 billion, Bob. That's 11, not 11 million. 11 billion. $11 billion. And now, where are we going to get that money back? How are we going to get that money back from inmates who figured out that who defraud? It's like he's catching a lot of heat from that, and he should because he's such a stud.
Yeah. Well, the problem though, California's so liberal. You've got all those movie stars and everybody out there. You've got so many very wealthy, bleeding heart liberals who support people like that. They're the ones who say, I feel sorry for everybody who's poor. Just don't live next door to me.
I don't understand why they
write a
feel
check, give them money or whatever. Yeah.
I know, but I don't understand. I really don't.
Guilt. I think it's guilt. You talk about white privilege. Honestly, listen, I grew up in the inner city of Baltimore, but I think a lot of those people feel guilty. Not that they're not, good humans. Nobody wants anybody to suffer. I want to believe that, and I want to see the good in people. But I also believe these people are so uber wealthy, multiple homes, multiple cars, multiple boats, multiple this, multiple that, live in help, nannies, and this, and all this kind of privilege out the wazoo. And I think they feel guilty about that. I really do. So I think they feel if we throw money at something or, listen, Peter, if you've got that kind of uber wealth, you can't then be, you can't act privileged. You are privileged, but you've got to downplay that as much as you possibly can. So you've got to come off as being benevolent and for the little guy and all that kind of stuff like that. But again, nobody out there wants these people to be their next door neighbors. They're not having them over for dinner. There's a lot we can do in this country that we don't do. A lot of times when I talk, people, I think I confuse people sometimes with my politics. I really think on the social side, I tend to be certainly more middle to liberal, almost, to use that word. It pains me that we have homelessness in this country. It pains me that we have veterans who are treated and suffer the way that they do. My father was homeless for a while. My son suffered from addiction and other things. And we need to do a better job. I think we need to have mental health care for everyone. I really do. I think we need to have mental health care available to everyone, regardless of ability to pay. Are you still with me? Did I lose you?
No, I'm right here. I'm just listening. Yeah, that's something I'm learning to do.
Yeah, so I really think we have, and maybe that sounds like a more liberal policy, but I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from personal experience. So when you've got uber wealthy people like Jeff Bezos is worth $170 billion or more, because all these guys have made more money with through COVID. Look at this GameStop thing just went on, but these hedge fund guys and all this kind of stuff. There are people out there just making gazillions of dollars, Peter, while other people are suffering. So it's
two nights ago.
I probably shouldn't.
I encourage you.
Yeah.
Good. Did you say it?
It's a fucked up world. It's a fucked up world living in.
There you go. Doesn't that feel good though?
Living in.
Yeah. Sometimes you got it's colorful. I don't think it's a bad thing swearing.
It's my favorite word. No, it's my favorite word. It covers all the bases. There have been books written about the F word. We could do a show on the F word. There are really books. I'd like to know how many of them. Let's do the research. How many books are there on the F word? Here's what I like about it. It's definitive. So when you say that and you drop that word, everybody knows where you stand. There's no debate, right? It's like, wow, party's over. Party's over when you say that.
Well, I don't know. I think I can say it 3 or 4 different ways with 3 or 4 different meanings. Think about it.
You can, right.
Yeah, right. I'm going to give you an example because I'm in. Now you got me all pumped up. All right.
Oh, I get it, Fuck you,
it's
get the
like,
fuck out. What the fuck are you talking about? Sure.
Well, kind of. It's like somebody walks by and you're going, fuck. Good looking girl, fuck. It's like, and then it's like, you mess up. It's like, fuck. You know what I mean? So it's the same word, but yet the way you emphasize it means a lot. And I'm into colorful speech. I don't mean to be vulgar. Some people say, well, swearing is just ignorant. I beg to differ. Because I've read a lot of things where people say, people that swear a lot are pretty intelligent. That's all personal opinion, whatever. But I know what I'm saying, and I know how I'm saying it. And just like jokes, and everybody's so.
Well, if that's the case, let me stop you. What's Ebonics then? right? So it's the same, like you
I
said,
forgot
it's
that
an interpretation of something, and it's the same things, right?
Forgot that.
Ebonics. You don't hear that much anymore, but and if you live in the South, one of the things, and I'm not Maryland's in the South, but people say y'all. I see some things on social media. What are y'all cooking tonight? What are y'all? I personally don't like that at all. I don't use the word y'all.
I'm kind of 50.
But whatever,
I mean,
and we're below the Mason-Dixon line. You're not going to hear me say y'all, but I don't like emojis either. So I you know me, I'm a stickler. I like words. I don't use cartoons. I don't speak in emoji. You're laughing because you see me go off on that kind of stuff. I hate the thumbs up. Oh my God! If you give me that, you.
So you?
Oh,
I did
God,
that
please
today
don't
to you.
do that to me.
I'm sorry.
You did? Did you?
Yeah, I did. On a text.
I let people like you get away with it, but I'm saying other people are like,
all right, listen, I'm a little bit country and I'm a little bit rock and roll. You know what I mean? I got a little bit of Southern in my soul as well. I do. I was a Yankee. When I moved to Florida, I was 15, and they're looking at him, they're going, that's Peter. He's a Yankee. Because, it was just different.
That's right. You were born in Connecticut, weren't you?
Yes,
Connecticut?
I was. Yes, I was. No more snow shoveling. Yeah. But the thing was, I moved down there, and they look at me, they go, but he's all right. And then it just, when you spend enough time anywhere, you pick up the lingo, the language, and I don't really slang that much.
Sure.
I mean, I have a mixed linguistic approach to everything because I've been fortunate enough. I've traveled the world quite a bit, but still, the one thing, a lot of people say, are you from the East Coast? There's still, from being 15 years old, some people go, I detect, that East Coast coming out of you. But yet I go to the Connecticut and they go, man, you talk really funny. They go, you talk really weird. I go, man, you need to get out more. But y'all, I don't know how y'all doing.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
Y'all. I mean, well, I think, listen, it's kind of like the mask thing for me. I think there are people that think they're cool when they say y'all. They want to fit in. We're a society that wants to fit in. We want to belong. Think about affinity marketing. Why do people wear hats that say things? Why do we wear sweatshirts that say things? Right?
Sure.
We want to belong, Peter. And so people want to belong with the y'all and the this and that. Whenever people just want to belong,
I think it just comes out.
I'm not a y'aller.
I used to say you all. Why don't you all go over there? But then it starts turning into y'all. Hey, y'all. And I tell you, Southern women, sometimes it works.
I was having a discussion. I know she's not listening. Her name is Anne Murray. She lives in Baltimore. And we were talking about the whole masking thing. And she was saying something about it being a fashion statement. I think, I'm going to go on record here. I think there's some people that actually like wearing a mask. Think it's cool. The people that I see driving in the car by themselves, wearing a mask.
We've had many
with gloves on. Right? I think people actually think it's cool. They think it's cool, and they want to belong. They want to belong to that majority, and they think it's cool. Same kind of thing with y'all.
Having a problem with the newscasters that are on the news. The newscasters are on doing the news, and they got a mask on. Now, who the hell is around them? The cameraman.
I absolutely agree. That is it's ridiculous. Well, some do and some don't. So here's my problem too with all that. Where's the consistency?
Make up your mind.
I've started going back to church. I was in church on Christmas Eve, and I went to church last night, 5:00 mass, and the Archbishop of Baltimore. Here, we're all over the country and all over the world here, and it's live, and I'm going to say this. The Archbishop of Baltimore, when he came out on the altar, like the altar servers and everybody else had a mask on, he takes it off when he speaks. Fine. Some people don't. I have a hard time understanding people when they talk with a mask on, and he never put it back on. He was the only guy sitting up on the altar with a mask, without a mask on.
Right.
And I'm sitting in the church, and it was every third pew. They're monitoring people that come in. Every third pew you were allowed to sit in. So the closest person is 10 feet away or something, and everybody's got a mask on. And I'm really uncomfortable. I have a hard time breathing with it on. I really do. And when I sat down, I took it off because I thought if I'm dining and I'm seated at my table, I don't have to wear it. I have to wear it if I get up, if I go to the restroom, if I leave the restaurant, I have to do it, and I do it. But I'm sitting down in a church pew and the Archbishop's not wearing a mask. So I take my mask off. So my issue with a lot of it is the inconsistency of it. If you need to wear it, just wear it. If you need to, and if you're going to be in the people that jog and people that drive the cars by themselves or whatever. So
I call bullshit.
That's the message in a sense to me. It's very confusing.
Yes. Well, again, back to who really gets sick. How real dangerous is it? Yes, people are dying from it, but the thing is, it's all over the map.
Yeah.
Hey, here's what I want to do. I want to open up. I've been able to. I think we can do this. I'm going to open up the phone lines. And if anybody wants to call and talk to Bob Paff, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking now. If there's this is a second first we did last week, but I'm going to open up. If anybody
I love that. Look at that, man.
It took me 2 years in my head of trying to figure out how to do it on this budget. You know what I mean? Because it's not easy.
Look at this coming across the screen there.
Listen,
should we repeat the number? What is it? 815-250.
818-259-7983. If you want to talk to Bob Paff, 818-259-7983. If you want to talk to the infamous Bob Paff, East Coast Baltimore's Bob Paff, this is your chance to do it. Now, hopefully we'll have many opportunities in the future as I get better with this. But this is really what's so screwed up. And we're talking about producing. You want to walk in. It's like, yeah, it's a great job if I can get it. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, I'm having to. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. A lot has changed, especially during this COVID, which has forced me to change the way we do things. But I'm a hell bent to bring as much as possible to the people who are willing to watch and listen. And the phone lines are open, 818-259-7983. If you're a Bob Paff fan, which I know he has a gazillion people, or you're my fans who are now switching over to being a Bob Paff fan, you want to ask Bob anything, almost anything, now's the time to call and let's see if we can take a call. In the meantime, we'll keep talking. That ticker will keep on going, and we'll keep going.
Well, and it's nice. I want to shout out Michael Swartz. I think is probably listening. Michael, if you're there, Michael is one of my Facebook friends and listened to. Michael plugged in and loved his feedback when I did my video on Friday night.
Hang on, Bob.
He tuned in. He reached out to me.
I got you. Here, I got a call for you.
Question?
Hi, you're on. Oh, I just lost her.
Okay.
No, I apologize. When the phones come in, I don't have a phone screener, so I got to grab them. But go ahead. I apologize. Keep going, and then if I'll just answer it and have them hold on and wait.
No. So I was talking about Michael Swartz. Yeah. Oh, look, my battery, Peter. I'm running. I told this. I've got to upgrade my phone. I'm at 20%. If I disappear, that's why I'm at 20%. We should be able to get through this, right?
You got to get
anyway. So Michael reached. Well, I could plug in the juice, but you've got me on the headset, so I could unplug this and plug in my power source. But
here, take this call.
But
feeling something.
Yeah.
Hi, you're on with Peter G. Who's this?
Hello.
This is Jean. Hi.
Hi, Jean. Bob, can you hear her?
Hey, Jean. Is she
Hi.
better?
How are you? Yeah. How are you?
Jean, you're up late.
Well, I was looking forward to watching you guys. You guys have a great show on tonight. I'm enjoying it.
Thank you. It's
Yeah,
fun. You're up late, so
job.
thank you so much for. Thank you.
You
It's kind of cool, right?
Right? Yeah, it is. I like it.
Thank you, Jean.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
So
There you go, Peter. It worked, and Jean was your first call. That's wonderful.
How do you like Peter without his sunglasses off?
Yeah,
scary, huh?
I like Peter without the sunglasses. I like it.
Well,
yeah, he's got a new look.
Yeah, he looks like he should have a guitar when he's got the sunglasses on. He's got a new look. It's good. I like it.
He
I
does.
like the new look.
I like it too.
Jean, do you have a question for Bob? Anything for Bob?
He's doing a great job, and I like what he's going to do at his house.
Good, awesome. You're in Maryland too. You're a Maryland fan? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Gene, I got another call from Portland, Oregon. Let's catch you in a minute, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Gene, got to go. Got another call. Go.
Hi, you're on live, Peter G.
Might be Michael.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey. You talking to
Hey,
Bob?
Bob, it's Mike.
Bob, you got him?
Hey, Mike.
Hello?
I just gave you a shout out. Did you hear it? Mike?
Yes, how are you? Yeah.
There, Peter?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Good. I just gave you a shout out. I was just singing your praises.
Hey, Mike.
I was just singing your praises, Mike.
Can you hear Bob? Hey, Mike, can you hear Bob?
Did we lose him? Yeah, I can hear.
No.
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. Yeah. Just any questions for Bob? Anything?
There we go.
He's back in the air.
He's back, baby. Do you hear him, Bob? He says he's glad you're back.
Mike, thank you. Thank you for all the support. My book's going to be in the mail to you. I thank you so much. Your comments have been incredible. Peter, Mike, I started to tell you, Mike tuned into my video, my live video on Friday when Peter, you said I was on fire, whatever you said I was smoking or drinking or something, and I was not. It was all natural energy. You know that. But Mike, I appreciate it. What's that?
No, I liked it. It was great. Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Sorry, you're really quiet. I just want to make sure you're still there.
No,
Yeah.
well,
So anyway, Mike, thank you.
Like back and forth.
There's a delay. Are you listening with are you listening with headphones, or are you trying to listen to the show while you're on the phone?
Yeah, it's a lot of
Really?
Yeah, I'm on the phone. Yeah.
No show, and you're hearing delay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird because you shouldn't be.
Right.
This is what I've worked on.
I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it too, Peter. There's a delay in my.
I'm watching you freeze. You're freezing. You're on Wi-Fi.
I'm seeing it too, Mike. I'm even watching myself.
I'm
freezing.
Yeah. See, I'm hearing everything in real time because again, the hooking into hardwire is the way. But again, any questions for nothing for Bob before we go on to the future?
Nope. I'll definitely come back on another show.
Well, he's going to be there every Friday. Friday, he's telling, and then again, hopefully, I'll still have him every last Sunday of the month, and we'll be able to. We're getting better and better at this because I just think that it's a good combination, East meets West.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. You guys have a good night.
All right.
Thank you,
Mike.
Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
Have a good week. Books in the mail. Let me know when you get it. All right, guy. Thank you.
Checks in the mail.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, you're freezing a lot.
One of the things I want to say, because I am freezing a lot here.
Yeah.
I'm going to probably run out of time. I want to talk about how people have really been. There we go.
Yep,
people have really reinvented themselves during this whole COVID thing. And I want to give a shout out to Renee Curran Hunter, who is now cooking and putting all of her cooking. So people are cooking and baking and exercising and meditating and doing all these kind of things. I had a friend who just went through, she contracted the virus, and she said, really almost had a spiritual kind of effect on her. She was, locked down and worked her way through it. And she's fine, knock on wood, she's fine. But that's the other side of it. I mean, if you have any sense of spirituality, which I do, we've got to look for the silver lining in things. I told people on Friday when I talked to them, let's try to find the message in these things. Let's try to find the beauty. Let's try to find the positivity in all these things that are going on, because there's so much negativity. And if you buy into that, the vitriol and all the other kind of stuff, folks, we can't. We don't know the truth really and what's going on and all this stuff. We really don't. There's a lot of things that we buy into, that we feed into. There are a lot of things that are fed to us, Peter. I talked about the media, right?
Right.
And now we're getting it from we're getting Kool-Aid from a fire hose. We're getting Kool-Aid from a fire hose, and we just really don't know. And so, what I would suggest to people, as you always ask me when I'm wrapping up, what's the advice I give people, is take a deep breath, take a step back. Don't get caught up in all the bullshit. If it doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. Light a candle. Look. Can you say here I am sitting here, gift from a friend, I'm freezing up. Lighting the candle kind of thing, and having the fireplace behind you, and reflect and do all this kind of things like that. So, but Peter, this concept is great. I love being able to call in. We had Gene, we had Mike. I love this split screen. We got the fireplace behind me. We'll work out the kinks, but good stuff. Maybe I'm freezing up because it's so cold here. It's in the 20s here.
I don't know. All I know is that I always suggest before if you're going to use the way you're doing it now, always turn it off, reboot it. I've learned to not always keep my stuff on all the time, to let it refresh, make sure you're fully charged, or we'll talk about in the future, there's ways to keep it charged while you're using earbuds or wireless or whatever. I mean, it's just the way it is. And I just switched cameras too, because again, by the time I see you on the 28th, ironically, this month has been 7, 14, 21, and now it's going to go 7, 14, 21, 28 for the month of February. It's going to equally pass. So I'll see you on the 28th of February. Oops, I'm looking at the wrong camera again. I don't have red lights. So by then we'll be even further along during this journey. It's a journey, and it'll be even better. And who knows what we'll be talking about by then. But I again, never a dull moment, I don't believe. Hello? Uh-oh.
No, it's fun. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Always, this was great.
Yeah.
All right.
So anything you want to leave everybody with, we'll wrap it up, because I'm afraid your phone's going to die. And if it does die, then I'm going to go into hey, okay.
Well, again, just coming to everybody. Grateful for everybody tuning in. I'm grateful for. I see a lot of folks that follow me are now following you. I've shared this, and I know you do, and so we've got that cross pollination that's going on there, which is very good. And
it's good for the world.
It's all good stuff.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Well, what's interesting, so a lot of people on the East Coast,
they're staying up late for you. A lot of
people on the East Coast are asleep now. So they're not that well. It was nice of Gene to do that. But what's happening now is we're coming across the country, because you had Mike Swartz, who's
right.
Outside of Portland, Oregon, or in that Seattle. Mike's in that area, and
right.
Tuning in, listening to us, which is great. So. It's coming together, Peter. We'll meet in Missouri or something like that. So
again,
there you go.
Yeah,
and we talked about maybe it'd be kind of cool to do live.
You realize that even though this show is live, that it still can be pulled up, and that's what you're going to find out with your shows when you start doing it, is that it can be pulled up anytime and be watched anytime that's convenient. I used to, with Facebook, be able to run watch parties and all that, and now it's changing. I can't do again. There's a lot of changes. That's why I'm asking people to kind of start subscribing to YouTube.
Wow.
Who knows what's going? Life, look. Everything's not forever. The priest of my church that I go to here in Southern California, after 16 and a half years when he first started, and we went there 15 years ago, well, about 14 years ago, 14 and a half years ago, is now leaving the church. And I love this guy because he spoke to my daughter when she was very little and made her feel comfortable.
Wow.
When we were divorcing and things, she felt they made her feel a part of everything.
Why is he leaving?
He's going to San Francisco for I mean, the church moves you around, you know what I mean? But he's been here for so long, you think that it never ends. But he's moving on to a different job that they're giving him with a youth organization in the Greek Orthodox Church, something like that. And
I thought you said he's leaving the church. He's not leaving the church.
He's leaving our church to go to San Francisco, to another church. I mean, they're moving him, and that's what they do. I'm not sure in the Catholic religion.
I thought you were saying he was leaving the order. Okay.
No, I apologize. He's a wonderful guy, and he's a young guy. He was a younger, and when I was growing up as a kid, priests were all old to me, but yet he was a younger guy who's now, aging into his part. And I just appreciated him very much because he came in at a time in our lives when I really needed him most, because we separated. My wife was Catholic. I'm Greek Orthodox. We both went to each other's churches.
The church
no
tends
problem.
to do that.
Yeah. So I just thanked him. Today was his last sermon.
Just when these people settle in, they yank him out.
It was his last, and I don't like that either. But 16 and a half years, I go, okay, maybe he has a higher calling, whatever it is. I guess my point being is change is inevitable. Just like the way I changed the format of the way this show is doing, is like something finally tipped that scale, and it's like time to move forward again. And that time will come for me, for you, for all of us in every form of our lives, I guess.
Yep.
Cool. thank you again for staying up late.
I got it, man. I got to try that Bolt energy. Right?
Bolt
I need some
energy,
Bolt.
electrify your
Tell your
senses, that's
Bolt
right.
people.
Yeah.
Right? I need some Bolt. There we go.
Bolt energy. They're again, they're spreading. It's hard. It's no
All right,
easy
my friend.
hill.
Have a good week. I'll be shoveling snow all week. Yep. All right, guy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And again, as always, thank you for your time. Say goodbye to all your people and all my people. And we'll see you the last Sunday of February, which is February 28th. I'm going to start putting schedules out. All right?
All right, man. Goodbye, everybody. Michael, thank you for tuning in. And Gene, thank you for staying up, and everybody else there. So good stuff, Peter.
Right.
I like this. We got the stage here. All right?
You need anything in your new journey.
I'll talk to you soon.
Forward.
Love you. All right.
All right. See you later. There you have it, folks. Forgot I changed cameras. Bob Paff every Sunday night, right here. Hopefully, it's just good conversation. Just good conversation. I enjoy his company because I know that we have something to talk about. I know that I'm going to get something of worth out of Bob Paff and vice versa. And I'm not in the least bit, as we say, not in the least bit. A lot of people go, well, I don't know, because Bob's popular. He's no slouch. He's been in the business a while. But no way, shape, or form, it's like, it's like some people get really, intimidated or this and that. It's like, we're just talking. It's like, I hope that my people will start following Bob Paff. I would like my people because he's worth listening to. There's plenty of room for everybody. Not everybody, but there's plenty of room. If you like what I do, if you like what we do, follow, watch, share. Speaking of watching and sharing, I'm asking my people to start going over to YouTube real quick and subscribing, okay? Please do that. I don't know where Facebook is going. Who knows? Facebook's changing very rapidly. Now, they've had a good run. And I love Facebook, and I'm going to continue to do the shows on Facebook. But just in case, just go over to YouTube and subscribe. Just be there. Then you can, it's much easier to find the show on YouTube because it's right there in chronological order. Just do it. You can watch Bob Paff anytime you want when he's on my show. Right there, just boom. Bob Paff, don't forget he's starting his show. I forgot to tell him, remind everybody, but I'll remind you one more time. Bob Paff is going to start his shows on Facebook, live in his living room on Friday nights, Eastern time. I think he said 6 to 7 Eastern, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern. Watch the show. He'll always bring something of value to you. I believe that. Next week is going to be a deep show. The infamous V from the Red Pill Hardcore Show. He's going to bring you some beyond your mind and theory stuff of what's going on in our lives that we're living right now. COVID, presidency, deep state, whatever. Take it for what it's worth and then decide for yourself. Because this is what this man specializes in. Whether you want to hear it or not, whether you think he's full of shit or not, just take it and listen to it. Again, I'm just bringing these out to make it available for you. You don't have to buy into it. It took me years to understand. But I'm just here to bring things to light. I found out you don't know what you don't know. So please, next week's going to be a good show with V. I'm going to put out a schedule. I got the whole month of February already chalked out. It's going to be interesting. And next month is my birthday, too. It's my birthday. I'm going to have a you and me show. Haven't done those in a while. Well, actually, a couple of months. I'll start taking calls. I want to thank Bob Paff for once again doing his part in East Meets West every last Sunday of the month. Bob Paff joins me co-hosting, equal billing. We don't have egos. We just do what we do, and like what we do. I love what I do. I know Bob loves what he does too. So watch Bob Paff Friday nights on Facebook. Look for it. Go to Bob Paff on Facebook. He's going to be doing something from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on the East Coast, Eastern time. right here with Peter G every Sunday night, 8:30 Pacific, 10:30 Central, 11:30 on the East Coast, right here. You can find this, and you can find these shows on demand. Go to the Peter G Show anytime. You can pull up anything you want on Facebook. You can go to LinkedIn, and you can find anything you want on the Peter G Show. And you can definitely subscribe to YouTube and find anything you want on the Peter G Show. I love you guys. Once again, it's been great and a pleasure to be here. I'm thankful for every day I wake up. More fortunate than some, not as fortunate as others. All right? Don't let all this fool you. Every day is a struggle, but I'm grateful. Okay? See you next week. Next week, V from the Red Pill Hardcore Show, going to be bringing some things that you may or may not want to hear. I would listen to it, and then you decide afterwards. Well, I don't care whose team you're on. Again, I invite both sides, but so far I only get a bunch of very strong-minded people that want to say what they believe in. So the rest is up to you. Oh, I forgot to take that off. February 7th. V from the Red Pill Hardcore Show. As always, be kind, but don't take any shit from anybody either. Life is too short. Love your family, love your friends. Don't be an asshole. I don't know any other way how to put it. Don't. Stand up for what you believe in, if you believe in it, but also don't put the blinders on. You don't have to, make sure you educate yourself before you speak. I'm not by far the smartest bulb in the bunch. But I leave that to you to decide. All right? I'm Peter G. Thank you for watching Life with Peter G, the Peter G Show. Until next week, I wish you all have a great week. I want to see you next week. And don't be afraid. For those of you that have been commenting all through the show and all that, I'll get to you. It's just too much going on. We can't answer all the comments that are going on at once. Too many. It's split up within so many different pages. I'm getting a swing of things. Cut me some slack. Believe me, if you knew what an octopus I am while we're doing this show right now, you'd say, whoa. As always, love you guys. Peace out.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, Divorce Dad.